Hey guys, this is Ranjin here bringing you all StarCraft commentary. This is going to be the first set between FlaSh and MVP in the round of 8 in the Hana Daetoo MSL 2010. Yes, this is going to be an odd eye too. Going to get colors and positions out of the way before doing anything else. At the upper left-hand position at the 11 o'clock in brown is the turn player. We're going to have FlaSh. And we're going to have MVP at the bottom right position as the yellow turn. Almost said red for some reason. Yellow turn at the 5 o'clock position. So, TV2 to start things off. We were very, very close to getting another MVP versus Baby matchup, as is going on in the OSL. We could have gotten another round of 8 in the MSL as well, because FlaSh and Baby are playing, or just have finished playing in the round of 8 of the OSL. I'm not going to spoil that, but that's what happened there. Nuke has cast that, so go watch. Very close, but MVP deciding that, you know what, none of that. Unfortunately for him, his his next opponent in this game is, of course, FlaSh, and not the best position want to be. He's actually going to wall off. He's going to start off by playing a little bit safe. FlaSh does none of that. He doesn't need to wall off. He's too epic to wall off. He, in fact, goes out across closer to the middle and plants down a forward rack. So that's how awesome FlaSh is. But yeah, TVT definitely one of FlaSh's strengths. Well, if you can really say that anything that he does is not a strength, because FlaSh role is such a beast, such a machine, that it's even weird. It's even hard to imagine he's human sometimes, and it's unfortunate for MVP that is facing up against this. In maybe one matchup, maybe. Even in a best of 3, it would be kind of, you know, nah, I don't think so. But in a best of 5, I definitely don't think MVP has very good opportunity to beat FlaSh. I think he's gonna have his work cut out for him. And unfortunately for me, these are both guys that kind of like their little macro-style TBTS. MVP showed against Baby, and this time around I do not have a beer and a pizza. Instead, I'm supported by copious amounts of orange juice. And I'm going to do some syncing because I forgot. 10, 11, 12. Both players getting the refineries going. So this is going to be, aside from that forward racks, this is going to be fairly standard turn versus turn. And even that forward racks is not really that out of place. Just plant down a forward racks, get a marine in there, go out there, float it in, get the early scout. So it's nothing all too crazy. Really, still don't see that MVP. I don't think MVP has sent out a scout yet. No, he has a marine on top of the ramp, so that's gonna make damn sure that if he doesn't manage to do anything, it's gonna goodbye. Yeah, FlaSh gonna run that all the way back home to do stuff. And there's a guy in a dragon's cap, I think. Huh, interesting. That's kind of interesting. Detroit. Dragons, what am I talking about? Detroit. That's Tigers, dude. Dragons is I'm pretty sure Dragons is a Japanese baseball team. Might be a Korean baseball team. I have no idea. I forget. Anyway, factory inside of FlaSh's base, and it's a little bit late, and we're gonna see how much in the mood I am for a possible long ass TBT. We're gonna see what happens. I was gonna start off by casting Midas versus J-Dong, but that did not quite work out. Anyway, shoutouts. Massive shoutouts to Hellshade for giving me a StarCraft 2 beta key. Even though I told him that I probably wouldn't be able to play it for a while because my computer sucks, he should maybe go ahead and think about giving it to a friend of his in real life instead. But he said nah, but he gave me a beta key anyway, so yay. I now have a StarCraft 2 beta key, and I plan on utilizing it at the first possible opportunity. So props to you, guy. Going to see that FlaSh plotting down his command center, and the starport coming on the opposite side for MVP, so he's going to go a little bit of a different route. Don't think he's actually plotted down his command center at all yet, or even started building it. I think he might be building it at the southern side of his base, not altogether too sure, but he's going to go for a starport. So he's either going to go out for Wraith to try to do some harassment, or go for early dropship. Generally it is, yeah, there we go, there is a command center, but generally you see when you see that early starport, you generally see Wraiths coming out, and yeah, that's exactly going to be the same thing here. I'm actually kind of surprised that guys go for this. I feel that going for a vulture drop in a TT like right now, oh, is he going to be able to get a vulture? Is he going to be, picking off both marines? He's going to be able to go in there, going to do some damage. At least going to be able to pick something on the opposite side. FlaSh also somehow got his own vulture inside of MVP's base, so no idea how he managed to do that. I think maybe caught MVP in a float. Actually going to spot the command center coming up. He's going to lose his vulture, but still managed to do a little bit of damage and spot everything around. On the opposite side, MVP has lost his vulture to that early tank. But did, however, delay the command center, so a nice counteract by him as well. So both players getting there. Well, MVP actually not almost FlaSh almost managed to delay that command center, but not quite managing to. Wraith gonna be out there now to force away the barracks. So FlaSh is not gonna be able to be too annoying anymore. Actually, oh, he's gonna float it down. Oh, look at that! Look at this guy being annoying. Like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna float my barracks down. Make sure you can't mine then. Well, yeah, with nothing to really kill this barracks right now, and it being a little bit safer on the ground than in the air with that Wraith in there. Tank out there, no, but at the very least, I think FlaSh is going to sacrifice the barracks to try to annoy MVP as long as humanly possible. Has on the opposite side, has an academy and armory up right now. Going to float the barracks up at the last second, but that probably just going to burn to death instead. So we do see cloaking being upgraded for MVP, so he's going to try to get some cloak Wraiths out there. Still probably going to pump this and see what it actually manages to utilize. He's going to be able to maybe damage some of those tanks. Not quite sure if he's going to be able to pick any off. At the very least, going to go inside the main and get a scout. And FlaSh, however, does have comp stations in the way, so he is going to have what it takes. He's going to have some Goliaths out there as well to counteract these raids, but he's also going to have some scan. Already, just as I speak, one Goliath come out there. He's also going to have scans to counteract this, and that barracks can go down. Yeah, I think he actually got. Did Wraith actually manage to get a shot off, or did it just burn down? I'm not altogether too sure. Barracks coming up for FlaSh as well. And also huge thanks to people that are actually very interesting. I've gotten a subscriber. I'm not going to name him just because his nickname, for one thing, is hard to say and remember, and because I feel this is slightly more, issue is a little bit more sensitive. But again, huge props to Hellshade. But I got a subscriber that offered to donate me some money, and I said no, thank you. Just pretty much get it out there, guys, that I do not want money for what I do. I do this for love. I do this for this is a hobby to me. If I would ever ask for donations, it would be because I'm in some sort of, I basically need money for a very specific reason, often enough maybe pertaining to to the hobby that I do. Maybe going inside there, being a little bit annoying with his rates. Only 2, so I'm not going to manage to do really too much. Scans already as well as Goliath with Charon boosters. One Wraith going to go down. Would he going to take another? Oh no, one Wraith barely going to manage to get out of there though. But yeah, I will not be taking donations of money. I don't think ever. I've never asked for any. So it's really interesting to be just offered some. But thank you for the huge compliments to my entertainment value. It really validates me as an entertainer, I guess. That somebody just says, you know what, Ranchin, you're so good, and you've given me so many hours of fun that I just want to give you some money for your work. And it just somehow goes against my morals, which I hate having. Sometimes you gotta hate having morals, but it goes against that. So I apologize for not taking your money. So he's got going out there, gonna spot the troops coming out. Meanwhile, MVP has a nice little tank ladder out there waiting, has a barracks at the front to spot. Also building up a command center inside of his main to float to that 4 o'clock position. I assume FlaSh is gonna be wanting to take the 12 o'clock position for himself soon as well. Interesting enough, I don't think MVP was. I think, yeah, they're actually mining full gas quite yet. The second base not quite necessary at the moment. But yeah, fourth and fifth factory now on the way for MVP. I think FlaSh was still only on 4. We're going to see what he adds in more very soon. And I'm not quite sure how many machine shops. There's on 2 machine shops at the moment. Just focusing on getting an upgrade and some vultures to augment his troops on the ground as well. Going to be getting speed and mines very soon. But yeah, so again, thanks guys. The only reason I would ever ask for donations if I don't know, got in trouble if I mean, sure, money would always help. I mean, I want to get a new computer so I can actually play StarCraft 2 and stuff. But, and it would be cool to have a nice computer that, can render faster and yada 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 and all that kind of stuff. But just overall, I don't need a computer. MVP actually going to move out across a little bit, get a scout on those forces the FlaSh has. Quite a few tank-heavy, quite a tank-heavy troop, and this might actually force MVP to move back a little bit. It's going to force his tank back. He does have a dropship out there. We're going to see how effective he is with that. FlaSh also going around putting on his own mines. MVP apparently thinking of going for some for a vulture drop and try to go into the damage. Vulture's going to come in very close. Vulture's coming close right on those tanks. Nothing to support. Nothing to support all those vultures away from home right now. Mines are going to come up. We're going to see what some of the mines come up. Oh, nice little mine. Picking off some vultures. Most of the tank getting picked off. Yet another mine going to come down. Pick off the tank and the last vulture. Nice play here by FlaSh. Coming down here, completely denying this 4 o'clock base. Going to force a float. Not probably going to be able to take the command center down. Not enough Goliaths, but Charon boosters in there to really force it away. But still doing a nice little bit of damage. Forcing the command center away and far away. with those forces on the ground. So nice little attack from here. MVP gonna go for counter attack. FlaSh meanwhile just now setting up for at the 12 o'clock position. That CV might one more shot on this. If he does get taken down, and people are gonna get several vultures behind the mineral lines here. Gonna try to pick up as many CVs as he can. FlaSh also playing on 2 bases. He went for a little bit more of a troop heavy game. Instead of trying to get insane economic superiority, MVP yet again got to move up vultures to 12 position, denied yet again. So he knows that now that his own base was denied, he has to move out and try to deny FlaSh economically as much as he can. He's doing a pretty decent job of it as well. FlaSh meanwhile just clearing some of the mines to 12 position. Ooh, first person view. FlaSh's first person view. Him controlling his stuff. All crazy. All fun. All joy. And TVT they'll probably go for ages. So yeah, what the point? If I ever need, like, really need money for, I don't know, rent or food, you know, basically basic survival, then, you know, maybe I'll ask for some. I mean, I understand, like, Diggity getting a computer just so, asking for donations just so he can buy a good computer and bring you guys good content, high quality content. I understand that. Molchop asking for donations because he needs to pay the rent. So he has a house to live in for a month, you know? I understand that. But, I don't know. I guess if everybody flooded my PM box and just demanded to give me donations, I might think about it. I'd probably still say no, but, you know. But altogether, just, yet again, thanks, guys, for, if there's more of you out there that were, you know, thinking of maybe donating to me, just letting you guys know. Thanks for the thought. But, you know, it's not really necessary. So, back to the game. If I can actually get myself to focus. I feel like I need caffeine, but instead I'm having orange juice, and orange juice doesn't have any caffeine. It kind of sucks. But oh well, what are you going to do? I feel like having some pizza. Ugh. Really wish I had some pizza, but I don't have any pizza. Actually, talking about pizza, I went to some Italian pasta/pizza fast food place around here called Sbarro or whatever. And I've tried some food there. Their pasta is crap, really. It's like soggy and just does not taste good. But their pizza's okay. But I had like this closed pizza bake thing, basically a pizza slice that's like has dough and like stuff inside of it and dough on top of that, and it tasted awesome. It was one slice, but it was huge. It was like eating a lot of stuff, so it was pretty awesome. So yeah, there's Renshin's food corner. MVP actually going for a vulture drop inside of FlaSh's main, also trying to do a little bit to harass his position. FlaSh actually might be thinking of picking up that inside 9 o'clock at this point to take it for himself. And meanwhile, my MVP's drop at the 12 o'clock. I'm sorry, at FlaSh's main instantly, pretty quickly gotten rid of. MVP actually going to pick up the lower left-hand position as he still forces out those vultures out there to the Goku position to try to do some harassment. Economically speaking, FlaSh was a little bit behind in putting up his base, but MVP was harassed a little bit more heavily, I feel. Delayed a little bit more at that 4 o'clock position. Both players are mining off 3 bases now. And FlaSh, I'm not sure whether he's trying to pick up that inside 9 or not. Just both the players setting themselves for position. I think FlaSh is actually a little bit more tank heavy than MVP is at this point, but because he had his 4th up a little bit sooner than FlaSh, despite that delay, I still think he will manage to get back in troop count. Actually going to go off across the north side or the middle. Actually going to try to take these bridges. Nothing at the front though, so he has to be very careful. FlaSh not quite the vulture count to really try to go and contest that though. MVP canceling meanwhile the base the low left in position thanks to FlaSh. We're just going to switch over and try to pick up that inside 6 o'clock. Going to see whether he manages to do that or not. FlaSh still not committing himself to a 4th base as of yet. Bunch of Wraiths going out there. Meet one Wraith of FlaSh is going out there to hunt the dropships. 4 Wraiths out there with cloaking ready as well, of course. FlaSh, meanwhile, setting himself up at the upper right in position to pick up the double gas. And this is very important. Actually going to start to put up some turrets. Make sure he's damn safe from drops before anything else. And of course, safe from those Wraiths as well. Still just producing Wraiths at the moment. Going very Wraith heavy instead of, say, well, I don't know, dropships maybe. FlaSh meanwhile just going to reinforce that upper right hand. Scan going to come off. Not quite sure whether that's going to be enough. Oh yeah, just trying to did prevent that second turret from coming up, so Wraiths are technically staying a little bit out of range, but still MVP, if he comes in at the right time, he might still want to pick this up. Actually has tank coming off alongside Vultures. Definitely wants to make sure the FlaSh cannot take a double gas, because that's one of the features of Odd Eye, where for instance on match point you fight over the 12 and 2 o'clock, with just regular bases. On Odd Eye you generally fight over the corners just because of the double gas, and double gas really gives you a huge advantage. You're going to be able to pump tanks at insane levels for a long time. If you have a double gas, you're going to be able to support almost exclusive machine jump factories. Both players, I think, yeah, okay, FlaSh, weapons 1 at this point. We're going to have that little 1-up over MVP in that position. Yeah, it's just going to put up his command center. Still, MVP should have gotten his inside 6 o'clock at this point. Should be up and mining from what I see on the minimap. Also has a little bit of defensive position around it. So he is 1 base over FlaSh, but FlaSh gets this double gas up. And MVP could be a little trouble. He's not actually putting up a base at that inside 9, and actually just has a defensive position at this bottom left hand. But he might actually, if he picks up the upper right hand safely, continues pumping forces, he might take that lower left hand position, just try to hold both corners. And in a TVT, if one player manages to hold both corners for any sort of significant amount of time, even if not for the entire game or all the time, if he just manages to hold both corners and mine from both of them for a few minutes, that extra gas will really come in handy. Will really allow him to get upgrades going, allow him to support a much higher tank army. So MVP still looking like it is a little bit of trouble, because he doesn't seem like he has what it takes to contest that upper right hand position. He's moving a little bit right across the right across the south side, but FlaSh did catch him a little bit. Some of those tanks, engineering bay, now going to be forced back to not make sure it doesn't act as a spotter. Those rays coming in handy as building snaps, nothing. I think MVP's actually thinking of picking up the lower left hand instead of trying to deny the upper right. Just trying to pick up his own double gas. He's equal bases with FlaSh right now, even though FlaSh soon enough is going to have that double gas at the upper right. I think he has a pretty decent defendable position. I'm not quite sure if MVP actually, from the minimap, he doesn't really know exactly what kind of defensive position that is, so apparently he's thinking of just focusing a little. I think going to scan that in there right now. Moving with Vultures, has some Wraiths in there as well, and Valkyries for FlaSh. Meanwhile, wow, 3 Valkyries out there for FlaSh. So there's going to be some massive anti-Wraith slaughter fest from those Valkyries. MVP going to move up to the low left position, going to scan off, getting in with a lot of Vultures to act as blockers for that fire. Going to move in close with his tanks. Might even just not even siege, getting those mines in, and I think he's going to be able to clean this up pretty quickly. Does siege up some of his tanks, but yeah, he's going to clean up his position in the lower left hand pretty nicely. Did lose a few too many. Oh wow, did they just pick off all the Wraiths? That would be hilarious. But yeah, I think MVP lost a few too many Vultures that he would have wanted. FlaSh meanwhile finally picked up the inside down look, and I think MVP, they didn't show it, but I think those Vultures, those 3 Valkyries came in and just basically absolutely destroyed all the Wraiths. I think I did see maybe the aftermath of a scan, although not altogether too sure what was going on, but I think FlaSh came in and pretty much killed all the Wraiths, so that's insane, just with a few Valkyries. It's nice that he has the economies to afford these Valkyries, interestingly enough. Very expensive units, but overall he's in a pretty good position. Have a pretty nice defensive line across the entire middle, and he has weapons too over MVP's 0 weapons upgrades. So yeah, MVP in that way is definitely not looking extremely strong. Just now, is that first army? Okay, that's FlaSh. What am I talking about? That's FlaSh's second army on the way. And an additional starport I think I saw. Meanwhile, an MVP at the bottom right. Still don't think I ever saw an armory from him. I'm not quite sure. He's hiding in a starports right now. Several starports. So this is 4 starports I think now. We're going to see we're actually going to try to rush to BC. Still has some Wraiths out there. Yeah, he does have those. Going out there and picking off those Valkyries. So that's a bit of a loss there for FlaSh. I think I'm actually... Well, I'm not quite sure whether those Valkyries are actually to pick off the Wraiths are trying to pick up some dropships. FlaSh meanwhile now didn't actually see at all the MVP had picked up. I think he's picked up the 3 o'clock position for himself. FlaSh can try to contest that across the bridge. Does have the position. Doesn't really have any mining going on there. I'm not quite sure whether they pulled the ACVs off. I don't think he actually had any mining though. It's a fresh base for him. Also trying to pick up the low position. Does not have a very strong presence there though. Does have a physics slab up, so he's going to try to rush to BCs right out of the gates. There are 2 starports out. Right out of the gates. There are 2 starports out there for FlaSh. So yeah, science facility is somewhere. Okay, yeah, there we go. Physics lab on the opposite side is also both players. So, kind of a stalemate on the ground right now, and they haven't really done any sort of dropship play, so they're going to rush straight to BCs. And I'm actually pretty stoked about this. It's generally the dropship Goliath tank play all over the map that gets a little bit boring. It's very much a positioning battle, but because both players have gone mostly vulture tank, they're kind of in the stalemate. They don't really know where to move around, so both are just going to tech up to BCs. MVP has meanwhile picked up a wolf position. He's kind of set himself in a slightly stronger position now, more ground forces between his inside 6 and the lower left-hand position. Has some Wraiths around there to act as spotters and pick off any dropships to try to come in close. Wraith's going to try to come in close here for FlaSh between close to that inside 6 o'clock position, try to pick off some, but MVP has more than enough forces to come in at the back and do the damage that he needs to do. So both players have significantly decent defendable positions. So I think MVP is a base over FlaSh at this point. Well, let's see, FlaSh is definitely. MVP are going to go in and try to do some damage in the inside 3 o'clock position. 9 o'clock position, I'm sorry. Also has his tanks sieging up from the low ground, clearing up a lot of those tanks in the high ground, doing a pretty decent job using eBay scans as spotters. Still a bunch of tanks there at the upside though, so not quite sure what MVP's going to be able to push. He does force a float of the command, so that's already a little bit of an advantage right there. Still don't see any battle cruisers. Okay, there we go. A couple battle cruisers being fielded. So I'm wondering whether actually MVP has been focusing his upgrades on his aerial fleet. But no, he hasn't actually. Looking at, and FlaSh meanwhile has MVP. Rule of thumb: battle cruisers are crap unless they're upgraded. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, FlaSh is just gonna clear up this entire position just with this. Wraith's trying to come in for MVP, but as soon as his camps comes off, the Wraith's just not meant to do it. Quite a few more battle cruisers out there for MVP, at least 1 or 2 more, I think. But no upgrades, really not going to help him out. BCs need upgrades, they need weapons upgrades, and they need armor upgrades. And a battle cruiser is like an Ultralisk in that case, really. He's at its best when he's fully upgraded. MVP does have a larger battle cruiser camp, but I just don't know if he's going to be able to utilize this. Probably is. Meanwhile, going to just go for this upper right-hand position, going to clear up that entire tank number. Nothing on the ground to defend. Just kablamo! Kablamo! Tank's still fairly strong in a large number. Might still go in this despite these turrets. There are a few turrets out there, but the turrets are going to go down pretty quickly from his battle cruisers. MVP also going to move it just across the ground, go in there, clean this up. Has to be careful of those mines. FlaSh apparently thinking of flying up to the upper right end, but of course battle cruisers are immensely slow. Takes him a long time to do any sort of anything. MVP actually not going to move across. There are some more turrets and tanks up there waiting for him. Does have his tanks on siege and still not mining at this 2 o'clock, at the 3 o'clock. I'm actually surprised the way he doesn't have any ACVs mining at 3 o'clock. I don't think he's actually saw any ACVs milling in and out. That's interesting. Still don't think he has any upgrades. And FlaSh has upgrade advantage on the ground. Physics lab. Yamato gun is on the way. Oh, just as I say that, commentator goes Yamato. Sorry, I don't speak Korean. I apologize. FlaSh already has armor upgrades on his battle cruiser. Well, he does have 2 armies, so he's going to be focusing on that like crazy. Oh, okay, just as I speak like this. Just as I speak of this, MVP has his own weapons and armor upgrades, both geeky and almost pretty much at exactly the same time. Still don't think he has any upgrades on the ground, but I think that's kind of part of the plan. Some science vessels out there as well. For FlaSh, it's going to be interesting. There's going to be some for some dematrixing, or might even just be for EMP to make sure there are no Yamato guns out there. Of course, EMP takes out any all energy from spellcatchers, and I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure it counts for battle cruisers as well. So, actually, completely neutralizing Yamato guns could be actually a pretty nice move. Finally, see that physics lab start blinking, so might be seeing some action coming up. FlaSh gonna come in here with science supporters. Oh, Yamato gun gonna come. Oh, several Yamato guns. Several Yamato shots gonna come in here from MVP as he goes and clear that up. Meanwhile, still not managing to mine properly at this 3 o'clock position because FlaSh has that little cute little tank line in there to start sieging against that. Meanwhile, MP has scanned the position. We're going to see what he actually tries to move in close with this. Is he going to try to Yamato gun those tanks? Oh, okay, we're just going to go into straight fire. There are Goliaths in position, though, so he has to be very careful. Also going to take some Yamato gun shots. Going to try to catch with the Yamato gun against the science hustle. Nice. Knows that he wants to make sure to neutralize that. Has his own science hustle in there, but of course it's very wary. A lot. FlaSh using a dropship in there right across the middle. But you have to be, of course, both players have to be very careful of making sure to try to neutralize the other players' wow, God, the other player, Science Vessels. EMP, I think, just not being upgraded there by FlaSh at the 12 o'clock, so I'm not quite sure if either player has EMP yet. So the Science Vessels are going to need some more Yamato guns. More Yamato gun training, kablamo. So just commands are just firing off against each other, and FlaSh still managing, not sieging up at that position though. He's actually unsieged all of his tanks just to so he can kind of move them away if necessary. Has some SVs coming in there as well, and still some SVs actually going to come in here, going to apparently absorb some shots. I mean, SVs engaging SVs. I'm wondering what the hell's going on here. And he's just running around, not doing much of anything, just trying to come in close, maybe just act as spotters, and not much else, I think. Yes. Some forces dying. So this actually game confuses me a little bit. A lot of battle cruisers out there though for both players, and not really that much damage on either side. FlaSh still a base under, even though MVP hasn't been mining much from that 3 o'clock. His upgrades ahead though, so MVP wants to make sure that he gets all of his upgrades going like crazy before he wants to engage that, wants to keep it at the back. Just continue adding in starports, continue producing battle cruisers. Let's say MVP's okay, mining very little at that inside 6 actually, but it has the double gas, the lower left hand has that lower inside 6 has mining at his 4 o'clock, and I think he's fully mining again at 3 o'clock. So that's 3 definitely fully mining base, and inside 6, which is not mining much at all, just very little. FlaSh meanwhile also has that little mineral patch at the 1:30, 12 o'clock that he's mining very little for him. Meanwhile, still has the 12 o'clock position mining for him at the upper right hand and the inside 9. So both players kinda the same on bases, really. We're going to be seeing the first-person view of good old FlaSh, still just milling around trying to pick off that pesky. Almost getting his pesky sciences picked off. He's just trying to scan off, making sure that he knows exactly at all times what MVP's going. Yeah, making sure he has positions that he knows what's going on. I think some of those are mines. I think they're just stayed there throughout the game. They just haven't been contested. So it might be that's part of those spotters still getting some of his tanks and Yamato guns, so he has to be very careful to keep absolutely control of everything. I was actually gonna, before I started commentating this game, I was actually gonna start off by commentating the first setup between Jaerong versus Midas, but my video was corrupted, so I was like, I could play it, but the video is corrupted, so I couldn't actually use it. So I thought, you know, I'm not gonna comment on the game, which I won't be able to render instantly. So, and that pissed me off. But many things in life piss me off. It's too late for me to think of a list, but once I think of a gigantic list of crap that pisses me off, I'll make sure to share it with you guys, because it's what I do. I live to entertain. So MP is still keeping up with the upgrades. FlaSh a little bit ahead on all the upgrades on the BCs, and I'm still expecting just one massive, huge-ass battle, because one of these days, these guys just won't have bases to defend. Still think MVP has a slightly larger fleet in the air, but still, damn. FlaSh, not at all sloppy either. Gee, God, look at that. Look at all those battle cruisers. Whoa. Wow. Hot diggly damn with the sausage. So both players, very heavily focusing on the gas as well, of course, to be able to keep up this massive production. I'm not actually even sure whether they're producing ground forces at all at this point, because their tanks are just kind of sitting in place like, I'm bored. FlaSh with weapons 3 at this point. That's all this has been I'm delegated to at this point, just telling you guys who has the upgrades, and don't really know who has the better position. I mean, MVP has a little bit more presence across the map up to the north side, so he could theoretically try to neutralize that upper right hand, and he would have an easier time of it than FlaSh would of lower left hand. So he's kind of defensive, in a kind of a defensive posture, bunch of turrets. You know, MVP also gonna have a lot of that. Oh, oh dear lordy, that was horrible. Oh, MVP. I think he got most, if not all, of his battle cruisers EMP'd. I think this just might be the opening of the FlaSh. He's gonna move. I think this just might be the opening of the FlaSh. He's gonna move in another. Okay, not gonna move in another science vessel, not quite. But this might be the time to go, and we're gonna see what they're gonna be. Oh no! Oh, FlaSh, EMPing EMVP's science vessel before it manages to EMP his battle cruisers. Oh, that's beautiful. That is. Still has to go out there to clean some of this. Why did you just get? There's not that many turrets, dude. Just clear them out and go and do something. Yeah, just stop moving back and forth. Just go in there and clear that stuff out. Still some turrets out there, so they act as a partial threat alongside those battlecruisers. Of course, you don't want to get caught up position, even though there are no Yamato guns. One Yamato gun gonna come out, boom! One Yamato gun could not, but FlaSh with more than enough to respond. But he's just gonna run right across. MVP gonna be forced all the way back to his 4 o'clock base, and FlaSh an upgrade advantage right here. So he's also gonna try to take advantage of that. Bunch of Yamato guns. Oh, FlaSh! Oh man, look at all those Yamato guns come off. So MVP taking some heavy damage, but also picking off some of FlaSh's own command centers. Battle cruisers, command centers I'm talking about. MVP's the one that losing command centers, because as soon as FlaSh ran across that, he just followed it up with a ground army push and just neutralizing the field position. So I think FlaSh is going to take one. That's a bishop that he neutralized right there. Nice little position. That's a bishop he took out right there, I guess. I have no idea whether my chess analogy is good, but I endeavor to please. I endeavor to attempt, at the very least, if nothing else. MVP actually milling out a bunch of his SCVs to that inside 9 o'clock position, try to come in close to those tanks and try to do some damage with that, but yeah, I don't know the purpose of that. I got nothing in mind anymore, but you got minerals. I don't want minerals, I want something else. What do you want? Gold, diamonds, platinum. No, I want gas. Well, darling, if that's all you needed, and then he proceeds to fart. And that is that romantic story of Bob and Charlene. I don't know. Oh god, it must be late and I must be high, except I'm not. So yeah, as you can see, no mineral mining going on. The whole rest of the business at this point, it's gas. Both players probably have already a decent mineral intake throughout this entire game. They can get a little bit of minerals here and there, but overall they need that gas. The gas. This thing is gonna go on for a little while longer, isn't it? I'm gonna be forced to be one tired, irritated dude before this is all over. Oh god. Oh god, I hope this is the last TVT series in this MSL. Seriously, MVP finally gonna go and push up, gonna try to do a counter push. I think he has actually a larger battlecruiser fleet overall than FlaSh does, but he's being a little bit wary of pushing it, and with those battlecruisers in there and all those turrets down the ground, I definitely understand his reasoning. Yeah, it takes a little bit, not that particularly easy to do all that. Both players actually running across, actually clearing up some turrets in here. MVP, oh god, one single siege to defend this bottom left-hand position, so he's gonna find himself losing a double gas. So FlaSh is slowly but surely edging himself to a win in this game, just with these little tiny moves. Oh god, if this is enough, because this is exactly what FlaSh wants to do. If this attack here at the lower left hand is enough to force MVP to move away his battlecruisers, that's going to be it. FlaSh is going to run his entire battlecruiser fleet across the 4 o'clock, do a crap ton of damage there, but FlaSh still in a very solid position. Gonna have his 12 o'clock threatened apparently by a few siege tanks, but that's not really as important as the double gas. So MVP gonna lose that lower left-hand base and actually gonna fly right across the street, right across the map, at least splitting up his battlecruisers a little bit, getting some of them MP, picking off the oh, another MP going off, picking off some sciences in revenge. But apparently he's thinking of just going in for the kill here. FlaSh gonna come in. Has his own forces very close by. He knows he has to react to this, has to be very careful to defend, but he's done a good job of denying the lower left. And this is exactly what MVP needs to do. This is leaving with almost no choice to do anything. He has to go out there, do some damage. He's going to start off by picking up some of these starport, but he really has to do some damage just to FlaSh right now, because he's lost too much at this point. He's lost at 3. He's lost at lower left. So the longer the game goes on, the worse it's going to end up. Also, MVP throwing around some Yamato guns to try to pick up some battle cruisers. FlaSh also just flying left, banking left with his entire force right now to make sure it doesn't get killed. Because no MVP coming off, Goliath's picking all that off before anything happens. Bunch of Yamato guns. Oh man, FlaSh littering the screen with Yamato guns. MVP is going to react with this. Some of his own Yamato guns. We can see FlaSh coming in with even more battle cruisers. Is he going to come in off or not? I'm not quite sure. I think MVP is coming in a little bit ahead. Another Yamato gun coming off from MVP. More Yamato guns coming in from MVP. I just think MVP his entire game has had a much larger fleet. Both players are equal in upgrades at this point, so commanders are doing enough damage to both sides. And despite the fact that FlaSh denied Yamato guns and denied all that, he loses his entire battle cruiser fleet. Dear Lord. Oh god, despite some nice play, nice delay, nice economic harassment, nice economic damage, loses his entire fleet of battle cruisers. So now MVP is going to just have, it's just going to be a massive playground. Splits up his forces. He's going to go around, pick off the last of those starports, make sure the FlaSh cannot come in with a fleet. We're going to see what the FlaSh is going to try to do something with his ground army instead, because of course the disadvantage of what MVP has actually. Oh man, FlaSh producing massive amounts of Goliaths. They do have weapons. What was that? One, two, or maybe even three at this point. Not really good. You have some armor upgrades as well. I think these battlecruisers are going to be able to clear up those Goliaths. Also going to move in with his other, with the rest of his fleet though. So he's going to be able to clear up any Goliaths that come in. Just going to be able to crush all these factories, crush all the production, and FlaSh desperately trying to build up a little bit of something to fight back these battlecruisers. But MVP with a huge fleet at this point. And even though FlaSh is still going to have some production, some basically, if he can build something, he has the resources to do so, I think. But unfortunately for him, just desperately trying to get some more starports, I'm desperately trying to stay in the game. But just MVP, unfortunately, will not really be able to build up a mass fleet anymore. He won't really have much to build anymore. FlaSh still has some battlecruisers flying around, but he needs to get his fleet back up. So he's overall done a good job of delaying MVP, because if MVP had his Yamato guns earlier on, he'd have been able to win that much earlier. But yeah, FlaSh, despite using a huge amount of Yamato guns, just not managed to come out ahead despite that. MVP still with a mass fleet, going to go mill around to the Sobakak. He's already picked off all the factories inside the main, ignoring a battlecruiser there, and just going to go out there and try to crush all the production, just kill everything that can possibly build a threat. Okay, armory, factories, and other assorted goods at the upper right-hand position, just trying to get up as many Goliaths as possible. FlaSh just trying to delay. I mean, more Yamato guns coming in from MVP. MVP just going to be delayed a little bit here, picking off all of these starports, but FlaSh is just going to try to get as many Goliaths out in the field as he possibly can. Try to get the upgrades going, I think, as well. If he can afford it, try to make it so that it can at least survive a little bit more than it can. And meanwhile, on the opposite, MVP going to go in with a huge amount of Goliaths of his own and pick up a lot of these turrets on the ground that FlaSh has very close to the upper right-hand position. Of course, MVP manages to clear up FlaSh's entire ground army. I'm not quite sure if he has really much in the way of tanks, but I think he just has his army in the air is his biggest asset right now that he has. But if he manages to clear up all that ground forces, anti-air ground forces, he can be in a good position. Also, FlaSh, despite the fact he has a bunch of Goliaths, only has a couple of battlecruisers to support him. And MVP also going to have his own Goliaths down the ground to help counteract those Goliaths on the ground. Okay, Goliaths on the ground have been said too many times. Now there's going to be another battle here. Some Yamato guns going to come in from both sides. And I just don't think FlaSh has the position on this or the unit count on this. It just does not have the Goliaths that he needs. His factory is going to get shot to pieces yet again. Yeah, oh man, look at those factories dying. Turrets going down to Yamato guns, and FlaSh is not looking in a very good position overall. So this looks like to be a very good start for MVP, of all people. Definitely not what I expected, but TVTs can be unpredictable sometimes, and even the best of TVT players can get beaten. But MVP has played overall a solid, even though a very confusing game. Not a very standard TVT. Oh, there you go. FlaSh is the last battlecruiser in the air, trying to get one of the last single Yamato gun off. That's going to go down. Few Goliaths on the ground. Okay, two factories producing troops, trying to fight back. He does have the range advantage of battlecruisers with those Goliaths, but if he manages to get it close. Oh, nice little mines there from FlaSh, picking off 3 Goliaths that are one single mine. But MVP just doesn't have the troops. He's actually moved up from the south with some troops. He might actually do some clearing up. Just, you know, get in. Even some vultures right now. Trying to plant in mines close to those Goliaths would be a good asset to him. But he's desperately trying to get in close to those Goliaths. FlaSh microing like crazy, trying to fight back those battle cruisers. But I still think MVP just gonna try to back him into a corner. As soon as the Goliaths are backed into a corner, that's going to be it. Some turret support though, so MVP wants to be overall very careful, because FlaSh is doing a good job of slowly microing. Just not quite sure of this in the end. I just think this is a futile effort in the end. Only 3 Goliaths at this point, one single factory producing. These battlecruisers, though not in large a number as they were before, still overall pretty good. I'm not quite sure if he's producing anymore, really. MVP has had his numbers significantly lessened, but he is moving up with some Goliaths from the 6 o'clock position. FlaSh still producing factories, this time at the inside 9 o'clock, and he's not mining at all at this point. Maybe some gas, but FlaSh is not mining at all at this point, so whatever he produces is whatever he has. Whatever little bit he tries to produce is going to mine, distance mine at that lower 6 hand, lower 6. But MVP not mining anything. Still has, I think, some minerals at that 6, and some depleted gas there and inside the main, but both players have denied a lot of bases all each other across the map because there are still plenty of resources across the map. It's far from being mined out. Upper corners should still have some minerals, should still have some decent, non-depleted gas. MVP yet again actually going to move towards the upper left-hand position, going to make sure there's nothing there to threaten him, going to pick off all starports and stuff that he finds. I'm going to see the first person view of FlaSh yet again. Still desperately trying to get some semblance of forces out there, but threatened with those huge battle cruiser fleet, which is not as huge as it used to be. I think it's just even below a command group at this point, but still enough to be a threat. MVP just going the safe route, going up to the upper left-hand position, trying to do as much damage as he can. Is spotting the tanks and the stray battle cruisers out there. Kablam! Oh, okay, dude, wasting way too many Yamato guns on one single battle cruiser. You might want to save them for like picking off tanks and stuff, or Goliaths and stuff. Actually, MVP gonna move out with his own vultures. That's gonna be good. He's gonna allow him to plant down some mines, have a little bit of map control if he has some excess minerals, and also just something to utilize. Gonna try to come in close and try to do some damage overall. Map control important because battle cruisers are very slow. Vultures, a little bit of an asset for spotting if nothing else. Trying to pick up some supply depots and stuff, but I don't think it's that important at this point because I don't think any player really has that high a supply army. Not that big really. Goliath, just FlaSh mostly Goliath, still not giving up. Definitely not giving up. He's done a good job of fighting back bit by bit, a little bit here, a little bit there, staying inside the game. And while MVP was killing a bunch of his stuff, he tried to, he went to another place and put up a bunch of more stuff. But still not sure if MVP has. He's allowed FlaSh to get up way too large a Goliath count, so he still has to be very careful. And he needs some auxiliary units on the ground to those battle cruisers. So it's still going to come up to one big battle. FlaSh even has raids at this point. Not quite sure they're going to have cloak on that or not. But MVP still, is that more or is that his initial battle cruisers? Or did he produce more? Not altogether too sure there either. I'm not quite sure whether he's actually been producing much of anything, and there's not much going on, and I need oh god, I'm out of orange juice. Oh god, I'm out of orange juice. Do I sound bored? I apologize if I do, but long TVTs is not really how I wish to spend my evening. Not always. Not when nothing's going on. I need a drink. I need a stiff drink, Bob. Stiff drink. The hell's a stiff drink? Mine! Ooh, bam! Kablamo! FlaSh gonna try to plop down the command center at the 6th position. MVP's not having none of that. We have vultures. We come in with vultures. We plant down mines. We be annoying. Yes. I don't think he actually managed to plant the mine. Yeah, that's just gonna get cleared up, and FlaSh still gonna be able to pick up that all over 6 o'clock. And actually gonna lose a Wraith in a heads-up fight against a turret. No, which is silly. MVP meanwhile yet again gonna pick up the mineral only at the, oh god, I laughed like George W. Bush again. But you're gonna pick up the mineral only at the 3, and MVP still actually has vulture milling up inside of FlaSh's former main. And I see starports still floating around there for MVP. Still don't think he's been producing any more battle cruisers at this point. Still has that massive fleet out there though. Let's see what's going on. My brain is starting to slowly implode, and my brain is starting to slowly collapse into itself. And it's a little bit, So yeah, FlaSh still has a pretty large Goliath force on the ground, so he can still engage the battle cruiser fleet. And I'm wondering if this is just going to be one of these players going, you know what, screw this, GG, or whether it's just going to come up with one huge battle. And FlaSh has done he's shown before against Protoss players and here as well. The micros his Goliath very well, gets those shots off, can pick up a lot of those battle cruisers because after that initial battle cruiser battle where MVP came up far ahead, he had a larger battle cruiser fleet than he has right now. He's lost several of them since then. Being forced to engage fortified positions that FlaSh has just been tenaciously fighting him back, so pretty good play from there. Both players at this point just trying to get their little bit of mining here and there. Oh, FlaSh gonna spot that mineral only at the 3 o'clock position with a factory that's gonna get taken down momentarily. Mines. So Goliath's careful, micro against the mines. So pretty good job of micro against the mines. And why were you floating off your command center? I have no idea what he was floating him off. I guess he's spotting the guys coming at him, and he's like suddenly becoming extremely paranoid. Gonna lose a bunch of his starports though. I think he's acting as a partial. Yeah, just gonna try to blockade himself in. Command center actually floating down as well. Wants to save that. Wants to not have to build a new one. I think this actually might just be a way to close the mill so he can get some Yamato guns off across. You can see a lot of his battlecruisers are very heavily damaged. So just a little bit on that will be enough. Gonna start to siege up across that position, across the bridge, and hold it. So these bridges adding on a little bit of an extra dynamic. FlaSh has another command center flowing up to the inside 6 o'clock position, not mining there at all. Mostly due to MVP being annoying with his mines. Mine. Those lovely, lovely mines. Yeah, does either player really have any scans left? Pretty sure that MVP has some scan inside of his main and his natural. Not quite sure about FlaSh. Probably not inside of his main, maybe inside of his natural, but not really much in the way of scans for either player at this point. So if there would be like insane cloaking wraith tech switch, might be enough to get off guard. But at this point, no, I don't know. I'm not altogether too sure. Of course, these players, they tend to utilize the scans very well. Tend to always try to use them to make sure that they know what's going on across the map at all times. You know, they don't use them sparingly. They just scan. Ooh, some guys there losing their lives, and FlaSh can only afford to lose that many guys, unless that was MVP's guys. Because at this point, I can hardly tell. My brain cannot even. Yellow, brown, both are color that both can be the color of poop if you eat the correct food. Yeah, one is normal, one is when you're sick, whatever. Oh god, what this is what TVT does to me. My brain starts to go and I just don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. This should be a professional TVT commentary from Ranch and DA, the renowned commentator, my ass. But at this point, I'm not seeing whether MVP has the battle cruisers to do this, because the guys are going to come in, some Yamato guns are going to come off, and battle cruisers are just going to start dying here. More Yamato guns are going to come off, but I don't just think this is enough. Some tanks trying to pick off those Goliaths on the ground, and GG from FlaSh. Yeah, not enough. Tried to go in there and catch him in at the right time, but not enough. Losing the last of his Goliaths. Yamato guns and cannon fire coming in at just the right time. Last little bit of damage. So yeah, MVP apparently had enough. Just the way I was saying that they had not enough. But as you all guys know, it's Proof Wrench and Wrong Day. And just with MVP winning FlaSh in the first set, it's already Proof Wrench and Wrong Day. So FlaSh all together, yeah, like, oh god, I went on and on and on for that. Ugh. He was in a pretty bad position overall. To try to get himself back into it, but walking into a fortified position, not really something we want to do when your opponent has a bunch of battle cruisers and some siege tanks to kill your stuff. But anyway, that's gonna be it for this one. Of course, as you guys know, I assume as you guys know, we basically get the first set of every matchup in the round of 8 today, or like that today, or it was played, and in a week we get the rest of 2 matchups in a week after that, or even that weekend. I'm not too sure when it's gonna be, but yeah, then we get more. So we're gonna see how it goes. Did you guys mention that this listening? Hope you enjoyed. I am. Oh god, I gotta commentate more, don't I? Damn it. Hey guys, this is Ranch and bringing StarCraft commentary. This is gonna be the second set between FlaSh and MVP in the Hana Daetoo MSL quarterfinals. MVP is 1-0 ahead at the moment. This is going to be a match point. I'm going to get colors position out of the way before anything else. Ketchup and Mustard at the bottom left-hand position. We're going to have FlaSh as Mustard. At the upper right-hand position, we're going to have MVP as Ketchup. Or no, again, never mind. It's not Ketchup. It's Poo. Yeah. So FlaSh at the bottom left-hand is yellow. MVP at the upper right-hand in brown. Completely unscripted, ladies and gentlemen. Only I can mess up this badly. So anyway, MVP with a surprising win in the first set, and but FlaSh looked pretty relaxed, chugging his motor oil, and yeah, just getting himself pumped for this. I think I heard recently that FlaSh is a little bit more focusing on the OSL, because obviously he wants that golden mouse. He is in the semifinals of the OSL at the moment. That game's already been played, so I'm not gonna say whether he wants, whether he won the semifinal or not, but he was playing as Pure, and he was saying that he was going to focus more on the OSL because he wants that golden mouse, and I understand it's a very big prize. The golden mouse, pretty much the biggest prize in StarCraft. FlaSh apparently sending out not only SV. He's really likes this going for the well, not really proxy, like really forward barracks to get that scout in inside very early, try to put on some pressure, but not really going to manage it. But apparently not even, I'm not even sure whether he's going to do that here. This might be a setup for something different. No, okay, this is just his one single racks. This is very much in a hidden position though, not even really a forward racks. This was much more of a proxy rack, so it's a little bit late to go for any sort of crazy rush. So I'm wondering exactly what it is that FlaSh trying to go for. Whether it's going to try to go for something funky, or just float that up. I'm not really too sure what to expect or what to know. But MVP beat FlaSh in the first just by being boring, I guess, really. He just played a very slow, very defensive style. Went for early BCs. Oh! 14 TC on a 2-player map. Gas coming up for FlaSh now. So I think he's just going to play standard, put on a factory here. I just think he's going to play standard stuff here. Don't see any second racks imminent or anything like that. Going to get this scout in there. Barracks just now on the way up for MVP, but I don't think FlaSh is going to try to go for anything too crazy. He will have a Marine in there before MVP is going to have any of his own Marines to react to this, but I don't think there's going to be any sort of bunker rush because MVP is going to be able to snuff that out. FlaSh is just no way he can accomplish any sort of crazy rush strategy with just one single SCV and a Marine or two. But he's going to spot this out. Now he's going to know right now that he's going to be a little bit economically behind if he lets this go on. MVP is going to have to push back. He's not going to have any Marines for a while. He's going to need to pull, I think, maybe an additional SCV to push that back factory now up for FlaSh. Probably going to put up the first factory, maybe get a Vulture, try to do some economic damage. Try to do some economic right now. Almost picking off the SCV, building the barracks. Several SCVs coming off the line for MP to block off that SCV, and that Marine just trying to force it back. Single Marine now coming in. We're going to see what the FlaSh manager micromanages do enough damage. Is that SCV? Okay, bunker, I'm sorry, barracks come up. 2 Marines that with a FlaSh alongside that SCV, doing a decent job. Almost lost the SCV, but already picked off 2 SCVs there. MVP is going to have his own Marines out very soon now, but FlaSh still putting on a nice amount of pressure, just showing that barracks 3 Marines now going to be forced back. No SCV to defend at this point. SCVs and Marine now up there for MVP to try to put on some pressure. 4th Marine will come up. Bunker here in defensive position. MVP going to set up a bunker in defensive position for himself, so he manages to get that up, which I think he will, because he managed to do a pretty good job of pressuring and hold all those forces out. The bunker shouldn't be able to come up without any serious trouble. Only 2 Marines out there for now for FlaSh. Gonna get surrounded. 1 Marine gonna get killed. He's gonna get a revenge kill. He has another Marine coming up right now, but that bunker up there. FlaSh is gonna stop this and to get a Vulture in there. We're going to see, should be able to bypass that bunker from the left side, just get inside the natural expansion behind the mineralize and do some damage that way. At least pick off a few additional SCVs. MVP actually had an SCV inside of FlaSh's base, but that gets picked off now. And MVP very smartly putting down a supply depot, not even finish building it, needs the SCV to do other stuff. Meanwhile, yeah, the Vulture is just going to try to shell that supply depot from range. We'll actually manage to do this. We might actually pick off that supply depot unless MVP continues building that, but MVP at the very least preventing any sort of harassment by putting down the supply depot. FlaSh going to put up his own command center. Saw factory also coming up. Supply depot less than 50 at the moment. So a little bit of damage done. Oh, and supply depot gets cancelled there apparently, and Vulture not coming up, doesn't want to risk going by that barracks. FlaSh not using that right now. He knows he'll get that heavily damaged. Floating that barracks there to spot the position, wondering whether he's actually going to go for that or not. Second factory up there for MVP. He's going to have a larger army count the further this goes in, so I think FlaSh really needs to accomplish some more harassment. Second factory up for him as well. But he's done a decent job already. Has picked up several SCVs just by putting on the pressure. He forced several SCVs to come offline, so that's just that little bit of harassment that he needed to do, a little bit of distracting MVP just a little bit here and there, just to give him that every little bit of an opportunity to get back into the game. Early armory also up now for FlaSh, so he's going to try to get those upgrades up very early. Third factory now up on the way for MVP. Only 1 machine shop so far, so we're going to wondering whether he's going to try to go for a Vulture tank build kind of thing, or whether both players are going to try to focus very heavily on the tanks. Don't quite know if that's going to be the case. FlaSh also moving out now with the first tank. MVP still does not have a tank out there because he's waiting on his machine shop. Should be ready right now. Tank's going to be able to range that bunker, but I still don't think FlaSh is going to be able to accomplish too much. He might take up that bunker unless now an SCV is coming off the line just in time. Continue repairing that, and additional tank should be out very soon. Vulture already out there actually before tank. So I'm wondering whether MVP is actually going to try to focus on mines before siege. He has a couple vultures on the right side. Actually going to come in here and pick off these 2 marines with FlaSh in there as well. Probably going to go spot that actually, what am I talking about? Barracks floating in Natural Expo. Floating itself inside the main. An additional tank vulture. SCV's also coming into this position for FlaSh to come and repair the damaged vulture. 4th factory on the way. Still only 1 machine shop getting those upgrades. Wondering whether he's going for mines because he's actually going to try to bypass those tanks, those forward units of FlaSh. Maybe going to try to go and do some sort of counter harassment. But FlaSh still trying to put on the pressure. Should not be able to pick off the bunker, but that every little bit of pressure counts. He's also repairing his tanks. 3rd tank coming out, and not really much of a response here from MP. He's just repairing that bunker. And not really doing much else. Almost lost the vulture that was going out. They got speed before anything else, so I think he's going to try to go for some sort of run by, maybe try to get inside that natural, maybe try to get inside the main, do some damage. They're going to try to get in the harass. Vultures coming in with speed, trying to surround the tanks. SCVs also coming in. Marines, vultures, 1 more tank as well. MVP just getting all the units out there, try to put in the pressure, try to pick off these units of FlaShes. 1 tank has already gone up, but it's still 2 more tanks in there alongside the vultures. Another vulture being picked off. 2 tanks and a couple vultures out there. MVP moving out with more vultures in here, trying to put on the pressure, try to push FlaSh back. The one single severe FlaSh really coming in handy. Oh, 1 tank does go down though, and MVP also going to lose his own tank. Meanwhile, backup comes in just in time. I think with that backup tank, he's going to be able to repair this. Nothing inside the bunker anymore, but vultures are coming off the line just in time to pick off the tank. 4 more vultures out there, bunch of vultures out there for both players actually. MP trying to put on the pressure. He has the speed advantage, so he's going to be able to get inside the main, trying to pick off some SCVs there, picking off an SCV that was building a factory. FlaSh getting his 5th back up. Should be about the same position from MP inside his own base, but economically speaking, both players seem to be in very likened positions, despite the fact that MVP got that 14 CC going. FlaSh managed to put on some pressure, managed to pick off several SCVs, managed to prevent some mining, and has done a good amount of pressure so far, forced some more SCVs to come off the line to repair the bunker. That every little bit counts. And now MP, I think, is trying to go and do some vulture harassment to harassment, which is to see a decent-sized vulture battle heal on top of this ramp. FlaSh, apparently, though, quite a large number of vulture here. I think 6 or 7 left alive, so he's going to be able to control the map with his speed on those vultures. Just wondering whether he's going to get mines out soon. Both MVP definitely has mines so far. FlaSh still waiting on his mines, though, but with the huge number of vultures out there, mines aren't going to be as quick a factor. FlaSh just not getting the mines, going to go up and plant them outside the ramp just to make sure that the tank can't go out there. And I need a sip of water. Dear God, a weekend full of insanely long shifts of work. My back screaming at me like a... oh, God. Yeah, it's screaming at me, basically. FlaSh being annoying. I'm sorry, MVP being annoying, putting down that bunker there. But barracks, I'm sorry. Dear God, all the words are like in my brain right now. Another barracks. FlaSh and MVP. Goliath's actually out now there for FlaSh to force that barracks away. Probably going to get taken down, so we might see MVP plop down an additional factory just before they get taken out. FlaSh still, I think, controlling the vulture count overall. MVP is also playing a bunch of mines. Both players just getting a huge amount of vultures. MVP going to take the little high ground here. Going to try to pick up. Both players have a pretty decent amount of vultures. FlaSh coming in from the back as well, getting a pseudo surround here. He should be able to pick this off. Some reinforcements are coming from MVP at the back, so we're going to see what I actually managed to do with this. But no, FlaSh does come out ahead. Of course, the good thing about having the larger vulture count is that, well, for one thing, you're going to be able to beat any other vultures that go out and meet you, but you're also going to have the map control with the vulture. You're going to be able to go around, you're going to be able to harass, you're going to be able to prevent new bases from coming up. MVP going to go inside of FlaSh's natural expansion. You're going to try to pick up at least 2. I think you only got 1 SCV there, though. So that's not as effective as I think you wanted it. But yeah, with vultures out there, with FlaSh as a larger count of vultures out there, he's going to have map control. He's going to know when MVP tries to expand. He's going to be able to go in there and prevent that. He's going to be able to go and pick off the SCV before it puts down the 3rd base, unless, of course, MVP floats it. This is basically going to most likely force MVP to build a command center inside of his own base and then float it. Probably might pick off the 3 o'clock natural expansion, 3 o'clock mineral only, might go for the 12 instead from inside the main. It's the safer option in that you're building a command center inside of your main, but it's going to be a little bit hard to defend just because the resupply route dropships are... Better idea to have some dropships out there when you try to go for that. FlaSh still putting on the pressure, also putting down his own mineral only at the 9 o'clock position. He's going to be able to take that safely just because he has that map control. He has those vultures running around the map, putting on the constant pressure. Siege mode now. Siege mode. Siege mode. No, siege mode out there now for MVP is going to try to defend his third with his FlaSh. Meanwhile, has his own tanks out there, not sieging them up, just going to have him close by. MVP can actually start building his command center close to this base, a little bit far away, but he's going to want to float it off later on. FlaSh is going to siege up at range. I think he has some of his own mines out there. Both players have some of their own mines all over the place. FlaSh has quite a few mines, spotting a lot of positions for MVP, and the only place I can see the MVP has mines is just outside his own natural expo on that ramp. Scans coming off, tanks sieging up, just kind of killing mines to start off before anything else. Not really much else happening. MVP, both players I think has about the same count of tanks. I think MVP might have a few more. Not altogether too sure. Barracks also coming in now for FlaSh. Going to be able to act as a spotter against these tanks. I think MVP has a few more though. He has a shorter resupply route as well, so FlaSh needs to be significantly careful with this. MVP also moving out with a lot of vultures, planting down a lot of mines near that Tolkok position just to give, give him some breathing room, spotting across the map. They're going to meet each other at the upper left-hand corner. MVP, though, has a decent large number. FlaSh is going to move up close with his vultures. He knows he wants to keep that vulture count of MVPs down as much as possible so those vultures don't go in and harass him. Also because that 9 o'clock position is going to be vulnerable. It does a good job of cleaning that up, but 9 o'clock position is going to be significantly vulnerable for quite a while before he gets his defenses up there, before he gets nice and strong position at that location. And FlaSh is also going to want to just take the entire left side of the map, going to want to expand up to the upper left-hand position, pick up the third gas, and get on with the upgrades, keep up with the upgrade war. And yeah, I think he already has a dot there at the upper left-hand position, trying to pick up the position, try to pick up that base. But yeah, FlaSh managed to pick up that third gas. He's going to be in a very good position. He's already economically ahead of MVP because he has that third base running already. While MVP just getting it up right now. Going to lose some of his vultures, trying to put on some pressure at the front. Might pick off this one single vulture as he does so. MVP is actually going to run that out. But FlaSh still in the position to pressure at the very least. It's not really a full contain, but he is pressuring. He's pressuring natural close to natural expansion, close to pressuring the mineral only at the 3 o'clock. I think MVP should have that up soon. MVP won't going to go up to the upper left tank. Going to be able to spot that position coming up. Not going to be able to prevent it from coming up because FlaSh only has 2 vultures to pick off that one lone one. Also moving out with more tanks to continue putting on the pressure. MVP still kind of looking a little bit boxed in, getting the starport up. Going to be able to get some dropships out there to start dropping across. He really needs to do some drop damage. I think going for earlier drop. Ooh, FlaSh doing some nice micro there. Somehow barely managed to keep his tanks alive. I don't know why he went for that attack there. Quite a bit risky. Meanwhile, MVP going to move out outside his natural expo to the left side. Vultures and tanks to go out and clear up this entire position. FlaSh meanwhile, oh, nice. Going to use his barracks and scans to siege against that mineral only, picking off SCV. So that's constant damage being done by FlaSh. MVP just going to move across the map, though, close to the middle. Mines be planted down. Has a nice little tank line. FlaSh also has tanks on the left side. I think MVP outnumbers FlaSh, though. Not quite sure whether he has the best tank positioning, though. Has them a little bit of a ball, some behind the other, so I'm not quite sure if all of them are going to be able to range all the tanks. FlaSh continually putting on the pressure on this mineral only. Dropships out there, but the one single dropship, I'm not quite sure if MP is going to be able to do anything. He might actually bypass, if that dropship didn't get spotted, he might actually completely bypass any sort of attack for now from FlaSh and pick up that low right-hand position and get that third gas going. FlaSh just now has his first starport up, I think. Actually, no, this is going to be a vulture drop. I thought he was maybe going to try to go for a hidden expansion. This is most likely going to be a vulture drop. I think maybe a tank and 2 vultures, maybe 4 vultures, going to try to do some damage. He really needs to harass FlaSh some, and there are a lot of supply depots to blockade in there, but he's going to be able to get that right on top. No turrets out there whatsoever. So 4 vultures going to be able to get inside, going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. Blockading building, yeah, not quite doing much, but these vultures are going to be able to get right on top of the SCV lines, going to be able to pick some of them off, even get a couple of mines going. Tank! Oh, gets shot, but not quite. Gets hit with that mine, but not quite picked off, so he did manage to do some damage. Right. Gets hit with that mine, but not quite picked off, so he did manage to do some damage. FlaSh did have tanks close by to prevent that from happening, but he already has his 4th up. MVP going to move towards that position. FlaSh should have some defending forces just right now. Vulture's going to move up the ramp to start off. Tanks and vultures coming up for FlaSh to go in and defend against this. We're going to see what MVP managed to do anything with this. Planting down some mines. Tanks not being hit by the mines yet. A lot of mines at the front. Tanks at the back going to start sieging up. Vulture's going to try to come in close for FlaSh. Also pulling all of his SCVs off the line to engage those tanks. To come in close, has of his own tanks at the back. Actually pulling his SCVs now from this upper left-hand position. Still mining some gas. Actually floating his command center just to be sure. And actually building wraiths off his starports. Thought he was going to go and transition into dropships, but actually going to start building wraiths to counteract those dropships and to just do some damage to those tanks. Of course, wraith Altogether, very irritating. No Goliaths in the ground. No SCVs to repair that, so you're going to slowly but surely just be able to take those tanks out from range. On the opposite side, we actually also see a Wraith coming out there for MVP, and he's also going to expand to his 12 o'clock position, just going to be able to build that command center inside of his upper right-hand position, main base, and then just fold it up to a 12 o'clock position. And Wraith going to come in here and engage Wraith against Wraith. No Goliath on the ground there for FlaSh, so he might actually lose that Wraith. He's going to continue repairing it. Oh, he's going to repair it and pick off just by using repairing his Wraith and picking off his opposing Wraith. So nice play there, and I think I said the word Wraith a little bit too often. FlaSh still going out there with Vultures, putting on some pressure, trying to pressure the middle here, but I think MVP does have a decent-sized presence overall with tanks, so FlaSh decided not to push it, going to try to just keep inside of his own base. MVP continuously trying to put on some pressure with his Vultures, but not doing... Okay, I thought it said 2 starports earlier. It's actually FlaSh with only 1 starport. Still not a control tower on it to get some dropships out there, though. And let's see, weapons 1 for MVP, weapons 1 for FlaSh, so weapons upgrade-wise, they're both pretty much same spot at the moment. Still, FlaSh still has a Wraith out there doing damage to the upper left-hand position tanks that were pressuring him just to clear up that position slowly but surely. Has a couple of Wraiths now, so as soon as the last tank's going to go down, then he's going to be able to plant the command center up down there. I think he's already done that, actually. Going to go out there across the middle, towards the low ground, try to get us around on those tanks, get some mines in there, a couple of mines come up, and Vulture's going to run for the lives. Goodbye, tanks. Oh, 1 tank actually managed to barely stay alive, but FlaSh also going to go to the 12 o'clock position, continue putting the pressure. He's mining off 4 bases now, preventing MVP from picking up his 4th. No 3rd gas for MVP right now, and I think MVP's still, I'm not even sure if he's mining fully. It's hard to see on the map, the 3 o'clock position, but his natural actually also has been cleared up. Nothing going on there from MVP. And just continuously trying to use. Always still has 1 dropship out there, so it's not quite, doesn't really have the maneuverability he needs to get back into this game. Does do a decent drop there to continue finish off FlaSh that was harassing his mineral only. FlaSh has a bunch of Wraiths out there to continue putting the pressure. Also a lot of Wraiths out there for MVP, actually. Both players going to go quite heavy on the race, but MVP conserving him so far. Still doing some mining at the mineral only, but had that command center, this natural floater up. Mines still hitting. MVP being forced to scan to a minefield that wasn't there. And FlaSh now going to start moving across the field. Has a huge number of... also getting hit by a mine, but has a huge number of tanks out there now. MVP, meanwhile, going to try to put up a defensive posture here on the low ground. As FlaSh tries to move up to the high ground, he's actually not going to do that. He's going to siege from range. Going to back off for now. Not putting on pressure. He knows he has the economic advantage. And actually going to spot the low right-hand position coming up. Has a SV there, just not doing anything. Oh my god, was that a command center that got picked off? I'm not quite sure. There's a building there was floating, which I think got picked off, and I'm not quite sure whether that was a command center or what. Crazy. FlaSh, meanwhile, I think is actually building a command center at the 12. At the 12. 12. Yeah, 12. But I'm not altogether too sure whether he's going to be able to do it with those Wraiths in there. I think they should be able to pick off an ACV that's building it. FlaSh still has quite a large number of forces. He has quite a large army, a lot of tanks he's going to be able to force in. Vultures come in to start off. Wraiths actually come in to help support against this. No Goliaths or anything, just Vulture tank combo for both of these players alongside those Wraiths in the air. Wraiths are going to come in to try to support MVP here. FlaSh has a larger number of tanks, also has done a lot of good damage with Vultures coming into pressure. Has one Vulture actually stuck between some of the tanks. Some reinforcements coming in for MVP right now. Wraiths also in the air, slowly but surely trying to peter at these tanks just to help his own tanks on the ground do some damage. Already lost a lot of them. FlaSh, meanwhile, trying to build up the short position. I think it got delayed a little bit because of those Wraiths. Continue building out right now. Has some ACVs are mining some gas and actually don't have a command center quite ready yet to get that to. Finally, a Goliath going to come. A couple of Goliaths. 3 Goliaths, actually. Prevention round day. 3 Goliaths coming into that position to force those Wraiths away, which actually have Cloak at this point. But FlaSh mining quite a few bases. Mining from his mineral only still. Mining at the upper left-hand position. Also going to pick up the 12 o'clock position. Now going to start mining there. And if he has picked up the low right position, but it's a little bit too little too late, I feel. It's just now picked up his 4th gas, his 3rd base, I'm sorry. Gase. Like goose? I don't know. But yeah, but that base is a little bit late. Still doesn't have, I think, still not sure if he has his 3rd gas up, so definitely showing in that his little lack in tanks, really not quite having the forces he needs to have. But FlaSh now going to be able to abuse this mineral only position yet again. Not anything mining there, so nothing really to abuse as of yet, but still going to be able to use that low ground to siege on top of that high ground. and actually has a pretty nice defensive line just outside his natural expo on the low ground to make sure the MVP can't really do anything, completely block him in that position. Still MVP has one single Wraith and they're waiting to do something, but I'm not quite sure if he's going to be able to do that. So FlaSh actually getting his own Wraith number up yet again, and adding in Machine Shop, so he's going to be getting a bunch of tanks very quickly, very soon. Also adding in Missile Turrets. He knows he needs to beware. He knows he needs to play defensive right now. He knows he needs to beware of drops, any sort of crazy Cloak Wraith play. And he knows that as long as he keeps this up, make sure that MVP does not pick up additional bases, make sure MVP does not do any significantly huge harass against him, he's going to be in overall good position. He's going to be able to get back into this, well, not get back into this, but rather continue controlling this game. He has armored weapons 2 upgrades at this point. Every little bit counts here, and MVP not even focusing any upgrades right now. Going to try to get done with what he has. FlaSh has a pretty decent defensive posture here at the 12 o'clock. MVP actually thinks sieged from his own main there, but FlaSh now going to go to that lower, at the close to the 6 o'clock position. Some tanks there waiting for MVP, but vultures and tanks coming in full frontal and picking that off. Yeah, doing absolutely nothing but forcing MVP to GG. So FlaSh looking absolutely dominant, losing that first game. But it was a little bit crazy. At all times, FlaSh dealing with a significant disadvantage. But obviously showing they're still in this. So 1-1, still anybody's game. FlaSh looking relaxed. And when it's FlaSh that looks relaxed, when he doesn't look frustrated, it's when he wins, really. When FlaSh just sits there and makes it look natural, like, this is what I do. And then he just wins. It's as simple. When he starts looking a little irritated, a little, then it's sometimes when he makes mistakes. But right now, he just sit there, drink his motor oil, and get himself back into the game. We're going to see whether MVP is going to be able to get back into this himself and get back his old victory, get over again. So GG guys, Renshin, this is hope you enjoyed. Hey guys, this is Renshin, your pre-StarCraft commentary. This is going to be the third set between FlaSh and MVP in the Hana Daetoo Missile Quarterfinals. This is going to be on Triathlon. I'm going to get colors and position out of the way before I start rambling on. At the 7 o'clock position in brown, we're going to have FlaSh, the Terminator. 12 o'clock position in beige or white, we're going to have MVP, most valuable pony? I don't know. Pony. Yeah, I want a pony. Well, I don't actually. Never one of my, not one of my childhood dreams. We're going to sink 26, 27, 28. 29. Added in that extra little bit. But yeah, even Stevens so far. And wondering whether MVP is going to try to bring cheese in any of these games to try to equalize. But MVP looks more like a guy that prefers to play a large macro game. And we're going to see what the FlaSh just decides to do. Whoa, okay. No supply depot. Oh, wow. Hey, nice. So FlaSh apparently going to go for an ARAX, I think. Probably going to try to put on some cheese. Yeah, this is definitely an early barracks coming in here from Nano. He did not clap down any. This is earlier than he did last time, definitely, I think. I think last time at least he had a supply depot out there, but damn, yeah, this is him putting on the pressure. The 3-player map. Only 2 ways to go after that, but I think he's going to put in a position where he's pretty much not too far a route to run to any position. Yeah, playing out barracks here. And we're going to see what MVP does on the opposite side, whether he's going to have his supply depot following up on the barracks. If he has a barracks coming up, he should be able to follow this up pretty quickly. Where's the barracks? Oh, dear Lord, really? Oh, 14 Nexus. Is he going to be able to get... I'm not even sure if you can build your Nexus past the eggs unless you're Zerg. I only think a Zerg can basically float the Overlord over and click the minerals. I'm not sure if you can do it as a turn player early on. My memory is kind of flaking on me at this moment, but this is going to be a 14 Nexus inside the natural. Oh god, this is going to be bad. MVP trying to play a heavy economic game. 14 Nexusing. Did I say Nexus? Dear god, I mean CC. Command center, 14 command center. Dear god, I've been saying Nexus this entire time. 14 CC. Dear god, I think at the very least the good thing for him is that FlaSh scouting in the wrong direction. Just count the lower right hand before he does anything else, sending his marine to the upper right hand meanwhile. But MVP looking in a lot of trouble, and that barracks definitely early for FlaSh, earlier than it was on match point. Has that marine up there, so it's gonna be a lot of trouble. FlaSh sitting there laughing their ass off. Oh my god, FlaSh's gonna win right now, and he could win right now because he's gonna have a second marine coming in right now. If he manages to prevent that barracks from coming up just by trying to micro his marines right now, MVP will definitely a bit of trouble. He's going to want to put a bunker up at the front. He doesn't manage to get a bunker. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble trying to get his C up as well. SCV's being pulled off the line. 4 SCV's being pulled off the line. 2 Marines in there now. FlaSh has to get his SCV in there as well to put on some pressure. Already picked up, delaying the barracks. Oh no, the barracks has been delayed. And he's going to try to continue building that, but SCV gets picked off. FlaSh might lose one of his Marines. He doesn't. He desperately managed to get those through. Still no barracks at the front. Oh my god, MVP being forced to fight this back with just a few SCVs. 2 Marines still left in their life for FlaSh. FlaSh doing a pretty decent job of microing his Marines, picking off those SCVs. No Marines just right now. Marine coming out there for MVP, but not. Oh man, he's looking in a lot of trouble. Building a barracks at the front here is going to range the barracks and the command center. 4th Marine coming out. Bunch of SCVs being pulled off the line. MVP has to do it right now. Do or die for MVP to fight this back and be able to prevent this bunker to come up right now. Has his own Marine in there, but that bunker. Oh man, FlaSh picking off all the SCVs, has 4 Marines, only 1 Marine in the opposite end, trying to desperately, MVP desperately trying to pick off his own bunker, but losing SCVs. Oh god, almost no mining. 4 SCVs mining inside of his base, 1 SCV in there desperately trying to get his bunker up. Not quite up yet, still, oh, manages to pick off. He's gonna manage, oh, not losing his last Marine. Oh my god, bunker does come up though. FlaSh canceling his own bunker, but right now he is, he's meanwhile gone off and expanded. Had his own mineral only secondary, and he is so economically ahead now. He is so economically ahead. Has some nice saturation both bases. MVP, almost no mining at either one. Oh man, my throat hurts. Ow. Oh, sweet H2O, dear God. Factory already on the out there for FlaSh. MVP getting a scout in there. But that's a CV he can't even spare right now. Losing that as well. 2 factories coming up for FlaSh. Follows up. He's gonna get vultures out there, and that's gonna be the end of it. No factory being built out there for MVP. He's gonna have to rely on his bunker at the front and some Marines, and that's it. But I think FlaSh, even if he gets the vultures, might just bypass the bunker, get up inside the base and do some damage there. FlaSh also gonna, I think he's actually thinking of expanding a second time already in his natural expo, but he's in such a strong position now. This is insane. Also, his barracks floating right now. Oh man, and MVP actually daring to float his own barracks away. That's insane. Trying to get that scout inside yet again to see what FlaSh is doing. So necessary. FlaSh can expand a second time. He's such a safe position that he's so strong economically that he can do this. MVP has some saturation in the natural expo. The main still not saturated at all, just not getting his initial factory, but there's no way he's going to have anything to defend. FlaSh going to spot that with a barracks. Going to go for 2 machine shops. She's going to bust out with a couple of tanks, and that's going to be the end of it. This is going to be it. He might even just tanks, not even going to have any Marines. I think he had 2 Marines in that base, so he's going to have a couple Marines. I think he had 2 Marines in that base, so he's going to have a couple Marines, couple of tanks, and that's going to, the tanks will range the bunker, and SCVs will come off the line. That's obviously SCVs you can't spare. Might even get siege. Not altogether too sure what it's going to do, but FlaSh is just, this is already a done game. MVP honestly could GG at this point, but he's going to give himself at least a shot to stay in this, but he'd have to do something absolutely insane and amazing to get back into this game. Just denying that natural expo, that third base that FlaSh is getting up right now, just denying that will not be enough. Meanwhile, MVP is going to go and expand a second time himself in that secondary past the eggs. But seriously, the position he's in right now is absolutely horrible. Getting up a starport. So we're going to see what he tries to compete by getting some wraiths out there, but I just don't think that he's in any way in a very good position. Armory as well as Academy out there, so might be seeing some Goliaths out there. For FlaSh, he's going to have some scans as well to assist him. MVP might have... Oh, FlaSh even has siege. Went for siege first, so he's going to be able to siege on that bunker. If he gets another tank in there, he should be able to pick that off. Do a huge damage. There are SCVs coming off the line to attack the tank. Try to get us around on that tank. And pick it off. His Marines coming out as well, so he might actually manage to pick off that tank. But another tank now coming in for FlaSh. He might actually do a lot of damage. Just the SCVs coming off the line already. Bunch of damage. And FlaSh is going to lose one of his tanks, but another tank on the left side. Going to manage to do a lot, picking off that Marine, even though it takes a little while. Has a second tank as well coming up in there to help himself defend. One idle SCV, yet another thing MVP can't allow to happen at this point. Idle SCVs, a couple of siege tanks going to siege up against that bunker. SCVs coming off the line, but 3 Marines in there to defend the tanks against the SCVs. They do get surrounded. Some nice surround. Some splash from the tanks coming in, doing a bunch of damage. FlaSh, not gonna bother unsieging, losing all of his. Okay, just now managing to unsiege, losing all of his Marines, but still managing to keep his tanks alive. One of them just with 10 health. 1 siege tank past the bunker out there for MVP. So FlaSh not gonna. We're going to see whether he's going to continue these funky tactics. Even more tanks coming out right now. Not going to siege the natural expo. This constant pressure from FlaSh is just going to be the end of it. MVP going to move out where they're Wraith trying to get back into this, but I just don't see an opportunity for MVP to at all get back into this game. Absolute domination here for FlaSh. Build order. Not just a build order win. I wouldn't call it a build order win. Just say that he took the win there. FlaSh maybe going to expand a 4th time at the lower right-hand position, but FlaSh definitely had that advantage by going that aggressive build, trying to put on the early pressure. And just he also followed it up well. He did a nice follow-up. He did a lot of damage, picked off a lot of SCVs. He didn't force himself. He knew the damage was done. By the time MVP finally managed to break that, FlaSh knew the damage was done. So he just continued getting his economy up, continued getting his bases up. And now he just continued putting the pressure SCVs in there to repair. Because of that Wraith has a Goliath coming in as well to pick off that Wraith. Not going to have Cloak. There is going to be a second Wraith coming up, but just no way that this Wraith is going to, do it for MVP. He's not mining at this natural expansion at this moment, trying to get a second factory up there. He's just not going to have enough. He really could just GG at this point. Goliath's going to come in there, force those Wraiths away, just force them to become a total non-factor right now. They're just not going to manage to do much at all for MVP, so he's really in a horrible position. FlaSh going to get a 4th base up. He's still mining fully from 3. MVP only mining from 2. And never mind the fact that the amount of damage that has been done to him is pretty much no way he can get back into this game at this point, I think. Just no way. MVP's just in such dire straits. There's nothing really to do right now. FlaSh getting his own starport out there. I'm going to see what that's for Wraiths. Most likely that is going to be the case, but it might go for some dropships, but I just don't think MVP really has any shot whatsoever to get back into this game. Has some siege sticks in there, trying to stay in this, trying to basically be stubborn. But no way. Just at this point, just sitting here waiting for the G's. Charon boosters on the Goliaths now, so now the Wraith's not going to have any opportunity whatsoever to even try to get in close. Might have some Wraiths in response for FlaSh. Not even bothering with the upgrades. He knows the game is going to end in the next couple of minutes. He just needs to wait until he's done so much damage that he can just bust in. If people are going to siege off his high ground, doesn't have the spotter right now. I think, using his command center to spot, but he's going to be forced to float inside of his main. More Goliaths out there for FlaSh. He's going to force his Wraiths, already taking one of those Wraiths out. Still doesn't see any Wraiths out there for FlaSh unless he's going to try to go for drop. He might even go in there and just drop at that secondary past the eggs. And as soon as that gets dropped on, a few Vultures or just Goliaths and a siege tank, and that's going to be it. There's just nothing else. MVP's going to... There are some turrets in there, so it's probably exactly what he's expecting, but just no way that he's going to have an opportunity to really react to this. And FlaSh also has a bunch of turrets for himself to be ready against any sort of attacks. Getting right now, he's ready. Actually, no, never mind. I thought it was... oh, God. At the upper left-hand position, I thought it was FlaSh's base. No, FlaSh is a turrets everywhere, so he's being ready for any sort of funky defenses, because there are a couple of dropships out there now for MVPs who are going to try to go out there and do some sort of economic damage. But meanwhile, his own bases are very vulnerable. No turrets out there. I thought he had some turrets out, but it was actually FlaSh's base at the lower left-hand. FlaSh has turreted up. He knows he just needs to be careful. Actually going to take care of the eggs leading to the upper left-hand position, which I think was what MVP was thinking of expanding, because he had a command center building. But that's not going to be an option now. He has a couple of dropships, which I don't think got spotted. The barracks is there, which is going to get taken out by these Goliaths. And the dropships still in there, dropping a few of those tanks. But no auxiliary forces. FlaSh is going to move in close. GG finally for MVP. FlaSh 2-1 ahead and makes it look easy. Just drop it in his nose like, yep. And, yeah, okay. I'm gonna go take a leak, clear up my oil a bit, refuel a little bit maybe, and then just come back and win this. MVP now, meanwhile, just looking worried. We're gonna see what happens here. 4th sit next, guys. GG. Ranjin out. Hey guys, Ranjin here, previous StarCraft commentary. This is gonna be the 4th set between FlaSh and MVP. This is going to be on Fighting Spirit. Going to get colors and positions out of the way. The bottom right position in white, we have FlaSh. The 5 o'clock Bottom one position at the 7 o'clock in purple. We have MVP. So after a strong start, an insanely long macro game, MVP seems to have, yeah, definitely looking at the guy, he seems to have lost his fire, I guess you could say. He definitely looks like he's out of it a little bit. He doesn't look like he's completely focused. Looks like he's like, oh, I'm 2-1 behind FlaSh. Oh, crap. Definitely doesn't look like he's as, you know, pumped as he should be playing in the quarterfinals against a strong opponent. FlaSh, meanwhile, he's just looking relaxed, calm, like, oh, I can do this. I got it all going. I know if I lose a game, I can bring it back. I know, no big deal. And he has a cushion at this point, so he's in a very good position. Let's see, sinking here, 57, 58, 59, 00. 007. Yes. What come out in there? Like girl. Shaking not stars. Yes. Something like that. I should find a StarCraft player who I can liken with James Bond and still have fans out there. Yeah, I do not want to be on camera. Yeah, I should find myself a StarCraft player that I can liken to James Bond. Don't know. James Bond, the James Bond Zerg, the James Bond Protoss, the James Bond Terran. That kind of sounds kind of funky. But anyway, finally these players end up playing standard. Except FlaSh gonna go for a 14cc this time. Just as I say that. On the opposite side, MVP playing safe. Barracks and Refiners, he's gonna go for 1 FAC Expo. While FlaSh gonna go for 14cc on a 4-player map, so he's playing very safe. He's like, and actually no, never mind. Okay, I thought, okay, I was very late Barracks actually. I thought very late Barracks actually from FlaSh. I think it was his psychic senses hitting in. Wait. Barracks now. So that's actually a kind of a strange, very late Barracks here for FlaSh. And yeah, okay, just he saved up a bunch of minerals and decided to plop down a Barracks before he plopped down to Command Center. So he's going for 1 Rex and an Expo. Well, MVP gonna plop down his factory right in the middle. Ooh, you cheesy little most valuable pony. Here at the middle position, so he's gonna get those vultures out there very soon. Gonna get the scout in right off the bat. Just gonna get in there, gonna like, oh boy, oh my god, thinking he's 14cc maybe for 2 seconds, but then like, oh my god, it's a Barracks. There's gonna be Marines out there on top of the ramp. Dear lordy, actually moving out on his own Marines. Maybe go out there, put some pressure. He might accomplish something with this. Not with that bunker at the front, though, especially if it's going to be full of Marines. MVP not going to manage to do much at all with that SCV, and the factory is just going to sit there in the middle. It's going to help him put on the pressure early on, but as the game goes on, that's just going to be a weak spot for him. He's going to be forced to float that away eventually, but it is going to be a nice resupply route right off the bat if he wants to continue putting on the pressure. I'm going to see what he manages to do with this. There's going to be a bunker at the front out there for FlaSh. He's going to have some Marines inside of that, but we're going to see when MVP actually decides to try to go for some insane pressure. We'll have that factory out there right now. I'm not quite sure he's going to be able to do much. Second factory, actually, I think he's building vultures. Not really quite sure he was going to be able to accomplish much with that. SCV is battling SCVs to the death, and FlaSh's MVP wins. Epic gladiator something? God. English language fail. So yeah, FlaSh is getting his additional, his first factory. Yeah, that was another word I was thinking that sounds like additional, but English language fail. So let's see. MVP has several Marines out there. Second factory on the way. Has that machine shop. So I think he's putting on siege. He needs siege if he wants to counteract and put on the pressure against the Barracks. FlaSh going to have his starport out now, so he might be going for wraiths out right off the bat. Also going to get a quick machine shop out there. Probably going to be, might go for vulture with mines, but most likely just going to be tanks to continue putting to help himself defend. Just siege on top of his high grounds. And we do see initial vulture actually out there for MVP. So you're going to try to put on some pressure with that, but he's not going to accomplish much with it at all. The bunker at the front, don't really think he's going to be able to do it. Does have a tank coming in. He's going to force a repair on that bunker at the very least with that. He's going to be able to range that bunker just with a tank without the siege even, but still not that much damage done. There goes some damage, and we're going to see some CVs coming off the line when the bunker reaches close to half health. Starport will not also almost ready for FlaSh.
And I don't think MVP is going to have an answer to this. Well, he has those 2 Marines out there, but I think aside from that, he's not really going to have big of an answer. Ooh, SCV's desperately trying to repair the bunker and losing their lives in the process. So there's a bit of a loss for FlaSh. MVP continue to put on the pressure. Has a second tank coming in. Has SCVs. Vulture as well, continuing sieging against this bunker, and has an SCV. I wonder if it's actually, just apparently getting himself ready to repair rather than putting up one of his own bunker. Might actually, if he manages to get that bunker down, might try to replace it with his own bunker. FlaSh just waiting on siege, putting up a second bunker down the back. He was already getting himself ready for the fact that he might have to back off a little bit. Waiting on his initial Wraith right now. Loses his bunker at the front. Second bunker going to come up. SCV's coming off the line. MVP going to moving and pressure right now. Bunker might not come up in time. Bunker going to get delayed. So FlaSh going to take some damage. Has some siege tank coming up inside of his own high ground. Has some Marines in there, but there's going to be a definite float on that command center there, but nothing to counteract that Wraith except for those Marines. So the Marines are going to be able to, at the very least, fight that Wraith a little bit if MVP manages to micro well against it. But FlaSh doing a pretty decent job of just flying and weaving and bobbing with that Wraith right there, although he does take a significant amount of damage. Going to come back home and force the repairs. As soon as he gets a few Wraiths out there, it's going to be enough, really. That's going to be enough, because I don't see any Goliaths out there even close. FlaSh just repairing his Wraith a little bit, going there and go for some action down. That's one audacious Wraith, which dies. Second Marine, I think it got into the bunker, but still a lot of damage down. Wraith still being a little bit annoying, and FlaSh, MVP at the very least doing some counter damage here by forcing a float. I'm not quite sure if he's actually trying to build up his own economy right now as he does this. Getting his own barracks significantly damaged. Actually going to continue repairing that. Going to start repairing that a little bit. 2 starports mule now. 2 nice. Okay, inside of his own base. So I'm assuming this is going to be a heavy Wraith. He's still only on 1 base, so he's actually trying to put on the constant pressure. I'm not quite sure if that's actually the best idea, because FlaSh is clearing this out now. Only 1 tank out there now, and the bunker going to go down. So MVP is not putting on the pressure he needs if he wants to go for a tech switch and try to put on some pressure, because he's going to lose all of his ground forces. Coming here with vultures, with speed and mines. We're going to see what he manages to accomplish. Something that's going to get up the ramp. Is going to have enough mines left in him. Has already lost a lot of his vultures. Several more mines come down. A lot of them get picked off. Only 1 more mine left in there. Vulture's going to get inside the main, try to pick up some SCVs, but Wraiths are going to help clear out these vultures. Oh, man, just MVP nothing working for MVP today. Oh, man, FlaSh, beautiful defense. Still only 1 tank out to the low ground. That gets picked off right as I say that. And FlaSh not going to get all of his forces down there. He's going to have more than enough to has a bunch of tanks, a bunch of Wraiths. MVP has nothing anywhere and is in a horrible position. FlaSh almost had the danger of getting that command center burnt off, but control tower, so we're going to have some cloak Wraiths coming up for MVP. It's going to his last opportunity, but I don't think he's going to have really much at all to defend against this. FlaSh has scan, has 1 control side of his main on the way. I thought he was going to have it, but has 1 in the way. Should have a second one out there as well. Some mines being placed on with vultures to delay the ground attack, but those Wraiths going to be a hell of a lot of annoying. FlaSh actually right now just flying them around, trying to spot an additional base. I think he's expecting, like, where's MVP's second base? Where I don't see any second base. Might be looking for the factories, but I think he's looking for a second base, and he's not spotting anything hidden in any location. So this is going to come a bit of a surprise, I think, for him. I think FlaSh is expecting a proxy base, but he's not finding it. He's also not finding those factories near the middle, though. I thought he already had those spotted, but he doesn't know where the factories are, so that's a little bit worrisome, I guess. He wants to know where those units were coming from, but he can't spot that anywhere at the moment. Just putting on his factories now, though. He's going to be in a pretty good position. He has that natural expansion mining, has 2 bases mining. Aside from the fact that he had to pull some SCVs, he's in a very good position economically. He has spotted... Oh, God, he was just looking for MVP. Oh, God, this entire time, FlaSh had no idea where MVP was. There's your problem. But yeah, this entire time he had no idea where MVP was. MVP has his own Wraiths out there. I think he has Cloak ready. FlaSh, though, getting a bunch of factories out there, and just FlaSh going to be able to win this. Wraiths going to meet each other. Okay, they're not going to meet each other. I thought FlaSh is going to fly inside the main right now with his Wraiths. MVP has his own flying out there near the middle, also going out with these vultures to, just to get them killed. But meanwhile, now getting his own SCVs picked off by several Wraiths. So right now for MVP, every SCV is so precious. 4 Wraiths against 4 Wraiths, so at least these Cloak Wraiths are going to help MVP to pick up. Dude, the Wraiths are still... Okay, just FlaSh flying them out anyway, so MVP like, I know he's going to fly him off if I just pick off one of his Wraiths. So apparently that came out true, so he's going to go in there, try to lessen that tank number, already picking off 1 tank. FlaSh might actually repair the rest of them before really much happens, but as soon as he gets a scan off, that Goliath is going to rain death. Well, rain, or rather erupt death. I guess rain goes from up to down, and stuff that goes from down to up kind of erupts upwards, I guess. So Charon boosters erupt up. But Wraith's still trying to do some economic damage. The scan goes off. Wraiths are going to be forced to fly inside the natural expo, maybe try to do some damage there. As soon as turrets come up as well for FlaSh, this is going to be a completely non-factor. FlaSh just has to get his engineering bay up there. Has his own Wraiths actually hidden at the upper right-hand position of all places. Think he's going to try to get him back into the game soon. Scans again going to come off, forces Wraiths again. But this is just MVP just not playing well. Really, just trying to follow up his pressure with constant pressure. I think if he definitely should have picked up a base as he did so. Instead, he had an opportunity to equalize the position. Instead, he tried to go for an insane tech switch. Instead, going for 2-port Wraiths, 2 starports full Wraiths at that point. I just don't think he still has a bunch of Wraiths out there, but I just don't think he's going to be able to accomplish much at all because he doesn't have any bulk. He doesn't have any bulk of forces out there that FlaSh has. Wraith's going to meet Wraiths. FlaSh this time going to get cloaked. Going to go in there and try to pick off those Wraiths that lack cloaking. MVP losing 1 Wraith. Going to lose 2 Wraiths. And, oh, there are turrets coming up inside that main. But still, one thing that MVP did have, he's losing. He's now trying to pick up his own base here at his natural expo. But just that's going to get... Turret's going to get picked off before anything happens. I think FlaSh might even move out with his own forces out there. MVP has a few tanks that's going to siege up near the middle to defend, but there's just a few of them, and no turret come up, so those tanks are going to get picked off by those Wraiths of FlaSh. FlaSh, meanwhile, has a bunch of Goliaths and tanks, and he's binding off those 2 bases. Just in a very good position overall to get back in. He's going to pick off 1 tank. He's going to continue sieging up. MVP does have some tanks close to those factories, whereas factory's still sitting there in the middle, being produced, and some mines out there on the field as well. So FlaSh has to be a little bit careful, but he's losing a lot. Just MVP losing a lot of his forces. Scans come off, so all of those Wraiths go down. Almost no defending forces. Some fans out there sitting dejected, but this is probably going to be the finishing move here from FlaSh. Wraiths coming in there as well. SCVs are going to get picked off. GG from MVP. No chance to get back from that. So after a 1-0 loss, FlaSh smiles to himself. Ha! Title's mine this time. Ah! So FlaSh going to be the second guy to move himself to the semifinals. Is he the guy that faces off against Calm? I don't remember. Anyway, GG guys, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed, and going to bring you guys the other 2 quarterfinals as soon as I am capable. So, yeah, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all soon.
동족간의 전투에서는 초반 빌드에 의해서 많은 상황이 좌충우돌되는 상황이 종종 발생하기 때문에